Alright guys, Shoutmon X4 here today with another Digimon review, and this is the Digi-Fusion Dorulumon. Now this is my third in line of these reviews. I've also done Ballistamon and Shoutmon. If you want to see a picture of this guy in the package, go back to Shoutmon's review. I have all 5 from the first wave in box there, and you can check that out. Now, this line is a little bit interesting. It's a combination of the typical Digivolving figure and something almost like Transformers Constructabots. They all come apart. They're almost like model kits, and you can combine them to create other Digimon fusions, such as Shoutmon X4 between this here, Dorulumon, and Ballistamon and Shoutmon. Now, what you see before you is Dorulumon, and admittedly, it is not the prettiest looking of toys. It is probably the farthest of the set from the anime or the line art or things like that. And that is really because it has a lot of the cogs in the machine for Shoutmon X4. A lot of concessions had to be made for this figure to allow some of the other figures to look nice and to let Shoutmon X4 really have the look that it needed to have, being the, ultimate combiner for these 3 figures. Not to say it's bad. I don't think it looks bad. It can get angled pretty nicely. It just looks bad from certain angles. As you can see, it has hollowed out back legs that allow for the ball joints to come in and out because it is transforming. And it also has a completely hollowed out underneath. But you'll see why soon. If you've seen my other reviews, you know these come in the package almost completely disassembled. Meaning that the head's not on here, these legs aren't on here, the tail is in all sorts of mini pieces, because that's quite a few pieces all in itself. And just none of this is here. And I'm taking it apart here so you guys can see just how much stuff there is to these. Now this is far and away the most intricate of the 3 I've built so far, but it's fun to put together, to be completely honest. Now, as you may have noticed while I was taking this apart, it does come with Shoutmon X4's head, so this is the figure that comes with that. I actually expected that to come with Shoutmon, but I guess they hid it in Dorulumon's main here. So now what you do is you start off to assemble this by putting Shoutmon's head right in there, and you'll have to move that around here a bit when you're assembling this. Now this comes in the package with these 2 attached, but we'll remove them for the sake of easiness for this review. Now you'll see how there's half of a ball joint here, and the little locking mechanism right there, and then the opposite side right there. So you put these together, and that'll form the main body. Now you're going to notice, there's crease, there's openings. It really doesn't look like it's going to stay that well. And I was actually a little concerned about that when first building this, but all of your fears will be assuaged later on. I think that's a right word. That's a fancy word to use. Alright, so then you pop the head on to that ball joint that you created by combining these 2 back pieces, or leg pieces for Shoutmon. And then the next part is to create the tail, I believe. I think that's what the instructions said, at least. It doesn't really matter what order you go in. So you take this little tailbone piece here, and you connect these 3 segments to it. And then at the end, you put this little golden drill right there. So you have a long tail that's all posable at every single joint. And then you will notice these 2 little holes right here, and you make sure the part for the tail is going up, and you just snap it into those 2 parts. Now by connecting those 2 ball joints right there, you add a little extra pressure for these legs to stay together, and you don't have any of those crease problems like you did before, which is actually pretty nice planning on Bandai's part. I'll give them credit for that, because I expected to have much more trouble getting these legs to consistently stay together. So after that, it's pretty simple. You pop the front legs on, like so, and then you pop the back legs on. I have that on the wrong side. like so. And then you get Dorulumon. And the articulation for this figure, obviously, we've already talked about the tail. It's movable at every joint. These are on ball joints. They go 360, in and out. So if you want to pose the legs like that, you can. These are separate joints, which I'm pretty sure you're going to have to take off of there when creating Shoutmon. So in the instructions, it does give you a little bit of information on, you know, that you pop those back in there. So the foot itself is posable as well. Now these just go 360 around. Not going to show that. It's a little stiff of a joint. And go in and out like that. And a little bit of posability back and forth. So you get, you know, a little more movement out of the legs than I would have actually expected from this figure. And the head can move back and forth. And it can only move the slightest bit up and down, if you guys can see that. Only a little bit. Now, other thing these figures do come with is Dorulumon. Sorry, I was reading the name of the card. A card for the Digi-Vice that is released with Digimon Fusion as well. And I didn't get the Digi-Vice. I may at some point. Honestly, I doubt it. But they're cool little cards. They have nice art on them. And they're able to be used to play like the little electronic games on there and stuff. Now, this is the last one in the lot of it, Ballistamon and Shoutmon. Alright guys, sorry about that. My camera ran out of time and I wasn't paying attention. Not sure exactly where that cut off, but you get these Digi-Vice cards, and that's pretty cool. If you have the Digi-Vice, you want to play the little electronic games on there. As I was going to say, this is my third in the series of reviews. The first one was Shoutmon, and then Ballistamon right here. Now, these three are going to combine into Shoutmon X4, which will be my next review. It's got its own review. And, yeah, we'll see how that figure is. So, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you then.